This will be round 5 of the league. I'm going first, and I am playing my variant of Grow. Can't keep this hand, unfortunately. See what we get instead. Yep, looks pretty good. A convenient card to put back, too, because, I mean, who wants 2 City of Brass? Alright, so that's gone. I'm going to lead with a Portent. And see what I can, position ahead of me here. Yeah, not keeping that. Well, actually, I could draw Gush the next turn, and then draw Swords, and then opt the second Gush away while having Swords up, or a second opt. But then I already have a Gush. Yeah, I don't really want a second Gush at all. Yeah, I'll just shuffle it. Okay, let's see what they're doing. Hopefully not something too fast. I don't have any interaction. It's all just set up at this point. Oh, that's disappointing. Maybe I'll get a Mox Diamond. Basic island. Very mysterious. Glad to have my second island at least. I would think it's probably Dreadnought, which is always what I assume with this sort of thing. Probably what they're assuming about me, too. And as I mentioned in previous instances of it actually being Grow, it is right to assume it's Dreadnought. So, I don't know. We'll just see what this ultimately leads to. Nice. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the mage. They'll probably counter it. And I guess I could try to dig deeper with Gush, but I'm just going to let it happen. I think this is what my hand has to offer me this turn. So yeah, if I dug deeper, I would be setting myself up to get dazed. Yeah, the opponent just referred to my last play as spicy, which makes me think all the more that they're probably on Dreadnought. Yeah, they're probably trying to determine if they are safe enough to go for the Dreadnought or not. Oh, they're just ending without even playing a land. I mean, they're probably right to not go for it if I have Gush and AK setting me up for finding an answer. But then on the other hand, if they miss land drops and I don't, and I draw cards and they don't play anything, then it's not exactly good for them. This is interesting. I'm going to Gush. I could have tried to hardcast it, but again, the deck plays Daze. Ooh. This was some horrible draws. Well, better than drawing them one at a time, I guess. Just end the turn and hope my counter spell is enough and that my 5-card hand is scary. Oh, they have their own accumulated knowledge. That is not good. Do I counter that? Man, I do not want to see this. If I counter it, then maybe they miss their land drop again. Maybe they get bottlenecked. If I don't, then they're going to have 3 cards to find a land instead of 1. No, it doesn't feel good, but I think the way to reach an endpoint of me winning is by countering that. Because as long as they're bottlenecked in some way, which, I mean, the way the game is laid out, the only way for them to get stuck is on just the ability to cast their spells. And like, I've got 4 cards. It's there could be anything in there. Glad to have that gone. And Swords is a good one. It's a cheap action spell, and like, I don't know, I'd rather have an Accumulate Knowledge or something, but Swords is one of the good ones. What are they doing? Flash for 0. Oh, that's funny. Well, they found their land. I need to kick it into gear. I have a feeling they've been holding that portent, because they either do the land or they drew the portent, and if they had the land, they would have played it. So I think they have Counterspell, and they've been sitting with it up because they don't want me to resolve a Meddling Mage. But now that they found land number 3, they can start getting some more traction, and it's going to be a problem for me. Oh. I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to try and sneak it in when I can. Look, they didn't even flash of insight. Well, I mean, there is an upside to having all these lands. When I get my opening, I can play the AK and perhaps more cantrips and whatever I draw. Like when I finally get hold of my cards, I'm going to be in a great spot. If I get hold of more cards. That's the big question. And of course, if I play Accumulate Knowledge proactively, even if they don't counter it, they can still Flash of Insight in response and exile their own, which cuts it down by 1. I really have to just time it in a way that catches them. There's a counter spell. They must not be ready to make a Dreadnought soon. Here we go. Keep the AK. Come on. Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking about. Maybe foiling it, but that's not a very attractive proposition. Oh, nice. I have a counter spell. Fantastic. Yeah, I'll let their flash work. I'm going to go through, of course. I have to save my counters for Dreadnought-related stuff or accumulated knowledges. Yeah, playing AK mirrors is really interesting. I'm glad to be playing a deck with it this time around. Hmm. I'm going to counterspell it, and I'm not going to try to swords it because I don't want to get dazed. Then on my turn I'll portent, and hopefully I can punch my Swords to Plowshares through. And if they have another accumulated knowledge, then then I guess they have it. It's not unlikely at all that they would. Fortunately, that gush might limit their ability to make good on it. I don't know. They'll probably just foil themselves down to a more acceptable hand size. Misdirection. Yeah, that'll work. What'd they pitch here? Stifle. Alright, well, it's in. Just F6 to save time. Might come down to that. It's going to be a very grindy, interactive match. That is kind of funny. I don't know. Do I even want to play that? I'll portent myself first. All right. I will layer them like that. Yeah, I'll just go for it. Okay. Now, do I go for Swords to Plowshares now? Or do I wait to draw the counterspell and then have Accumulate Knowledge and counterspell and Swords to Plowshares? So I play swords, then they try to do something. In response, I guess I counterspell what they do to it. Then maybe they try to do something again, but then I accumulate knowledge, and I have 3 themes left over. Yeah, I should probably just take 12 and go to 5, and then try to dig myself out from there. Well, no, I should probably... Man, so that's what, their second? That's their third counterspell? Okay, I'm going to try and... Maybe I'll try and Swords on their upkeep? No, I don't know. I feel like I have to wait. I mean, I'm definitely not doing it on my turn. It's such an awkward game, though. Yeah, I'm just going to try and be patient. Wonder what they're thinking about doing right now. Another one. I wonder how many vision charms they have. Stifle. Yeah, that I will counterspell. All right. Well, they did not net gain a Dreadnought. Mission accomplished, I suppose. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the swords first. Do I? I feel like they have to be holding Vision Charm. Like they must. I'm gonna go for Accumulate Knowledge. I hope I'm not making a mistake. Yeah, I guess I did telegraph the swords, but there's some chance they might interpret that as a bluff. And also, I mean, in their plans, they kind of have to assume that I have swords, because if they're right, then they've played around the card I have, and if they're wrong, then I'm going to die. So there's really no downside to that. Anyway, let's see what they do. They're probably thinking about foiling it. Yeah. All right, so they did their foil, and I'm going to just go for the swords in the upkeep. Yeah, there's an argument for going for the swords first and then AK in response, but I don't know. Yeah, there's the Vision Charm. Yeah, I guess they would have just Vision Charmed, and then I'd be dead, because they still would have countered. Well, I don't know. I feel like I would have wanted to do it on my own turn, because I have a fair amount of sorcery stuff, but I really should just focus on the game. Anyway, I'm still alive. I need to draw well, and I need them to basically draw dead. Nope. All right. Well, that's too bad. Fun game, though. All right. Pyroblast. I don't want Armageddon, and I don't want Fire and Ice. Probe I need to be a little careful with, because if they misdirection it, they can... I mean, they still lose 2 cards, but it's inconvenient. Yeah, I can keep everything else. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how maybe I would change the main deck in Sideboard configuration. It's really hard to make cuts, but I don't know. I'd like to have a second card that kills an artifact. But then again, like in this sort of matchup, I'm at the point where I'd be boarding out something good for something very good, which is not exactly the hugest gain. Yeah, maybe it would have to be... Maybe I could just squeeze another disenchant in the main. Yeah, I wonder what they're thinking about. Maybe they're overboarding. Anyway, time's up. All right. Guess I'll keep it. I'm going to get rid of... I'll get rid of Opt. And I've got lots of answers. Let's see what we turn it with this Portent. Nope. Any order? Yes. Glad to have that Flooded Strand. I need to try and not get it stifled. Good, they're on Portent. Wonderful. Would I want to just get a Plains with it? I mean, it's probably what I need to do to survive, though I don't like postponing the enabling of Gush. Well, in that case, I'm just going to go get my island and pass the turn. Pretty happy to have the second city right now. And the island will just sit there and be half of a Gush enablement. I don't think they still have Stifle in, but I don't know. I'm sorry, not Stifle, Daze. Yeah, I can run that into a counter. Happy to have it also. I have a lot of defense. We'll see if they play a Powder Keg. Even if they do, I hopefully can get some good damage in. Oh, there's the Dreadnought. I'm going to go for this now, just because I bottlenecked on non-blue mana. And yeah, I really don't think they have Daze. I don't think they could find... I don't know how they'd have space for it. Like as you've seen, it can be really hard to find stuff to take out when sideboarding with mono blue Dreadnought. Ooh, foil. That is what I wanted to see. That is a bottom of the barrel answer. If that's all they've got, then this Dreadnought is not going to be around long. Are they going to gush for an answer? Thwart. Oh, yeah, I'm not a big fan of thwart. Better to swords or better to blast? Better to hold on to the blast. I'm going to hit their dreadnought with this third swords to plowshares. Oh, yeah, I guess I should have waited for them to let the floating mana go, but I mean, if they had a less expensive answer than thwart, they would have used it instead of thwart. Yeah, I'm certainly in a fairly good spot now. They have a lot of a life, but I'm taking big chunks out of it. I have one very solid piece of protection. Ooh, Counterspell was a wonderful draw. Hopefully I'll just close this out in a couple of minutes. All right, I'll play it. Yeah, if they want to counter it, then fine. I'll just keep attacking. And if they try to actually defend themselves from the one that is big and threatening, then plenty to stop that with. You know, maybe the way to fix Premodern is by just declaring Ancient Grudge legal. We'll just pretend it came out in Judgment alongside Ray of Revelation. Oh, okay. Excellent. All right. Bad cards, but whatever. Yeah, that's not super valuable there. I have no idea why they have an all. Like, is it really just for Mox Diamond? Like, Mox Diamond is very useful, and it's not that unlikely that countering my Mox Diamond like early in the game will keep me completely off green mana, or maybe even white if I don't have a Flood Strand or the Plains. I mean, the issue with all that, of course, is, like, what do you take out? I'm going to portent them. They need to drop really well, and I'll do what I can to stop that. I should have played my island first. Oh, they're stifling one of the Dryad. Yeah, they're really grasping at straws here. I mean, that would have been game. They had to do this. Okay, I'll just put them back like that. Yeah, I don't think it's at all possible for them to pull it out. I mean, I'm ahead on time. If I were in their spot, I'd probably concede, but I mean, it's still over 10 minutes. The likelihood of that being the decider is still fairly low. Alright, yeah, not going to play Accumulated Knowledge. Why open the door to problems? I'll opt right now. I mean, they have to force through 2 answers, and in blue, like, it has to be Chain of Vapor, and then I'm going to recast both of them. They don't even need counters to be lethal. So, I mean, this really is just over. Yeah, Dominate is kind of nice, but it's expensive. It'd be better in this deck because of Mox Diamond. Makes things a little bit easier to cast. In fact, I should probably have one in the... I don't know, I could probably fit one in the main deck, but one in the sideboard would probably be nice. But I believe I've actually discussed Dominate specifically in one of the previous matches. It's just... Like, I don't even have it in my Mono Blue Dreadnought sideboard, but here with access to literally every color, it's just very, very difficult. And actually, is there a way for me to board those out without feeling dumb about it? I don't want Armageddon anymore without Diamond. Fire Rice would be, I guess, solid enough. Web gets annulled, Furnace gets annulled. Yeah, there's no way to make it happen. It would have been fun, though, knowing that they have multiple annulls to just blank them all. I mean, even so, though, if they have misdirection and they have foil, then it doesn't actually hurt them that badly. So, yeah, just going right back into it with the same configuration. We'll see if they can annul me out of this game. It's not a very good hand. In fact, it's a pretty bad hand. I'm going to take a mulligan. This I can hang on to, I think. I want to get rid of... I'll grab the Mox Diamond. Nice draw. Makes me feel a bit safer. Put that on the bottom. I guess I'll play City. Impulse is pretty sweet. I considered running like a 1-1 split with Probe, maybe. I don't know, it feels like Probe just does what the deck needs. And then Opt has the advantage over Impulse, obviously by being cheaper, but on top of that, by being something that'll get me from a 1-land hand to a, you know, to a configuration that'll get me through a game. Really cuts down on the forced mulligans to max out on the 4-opt, 4 portent. Not going to go as far as Sleight of Hand. Yeah, they're probably thinking about whether it's safe. Gosh. Should I counterspell that? I mean, the card advantage is just really good, but then on the other hand, It's the accumulate knowledge war that I need to fight, but I don't know, last game I didn't see any AKs. Maybe they boarded them out. I don't know. I'm gonna let their gush go though. Powder keg. That's okay. Alright, I'm gonna break one of these on my turn. That way it's more convenient for them to stifle it. Because I want them to stifle it. I'll do another one. Hopefully they think I'm about to put it to use. I'm not. Alright. Yeah, I'll just get plains, I guess, and then I'll play an island, and they'll have their stifles to use on my portents. Yeah, they're really in the tank here. I've got 3 life cards, 3 dead. They have no way to to determine what's actually going on here. Play an opt, keep a counterspell, play another strand, and yeah, I'll break it now. One more chance. No, they don't want to stifle. That's okay though. And then I'll play the diamond. And yeah, I've got 4 cards, but they are all quite good. Oh, make that 5. Dreadnought. Okay. Do I want to stop the Dreadnought, or do I want to stop the Enabler? Conventional wisdom is to stop the Dreadnought. And it still gives me 1 for 1 in Counter Wars. Yeah, whatever, I'll just do it. This would be a nice matchup to have a null in. Yeah, I mean, just going to focus on the actual answers. As much as I don't like seeing a gush, I mean, the 1-2 counter would have been number one. Here's the foil. Foil is not a good one. Yeah, I'll let that happen. Yeah, I bet there was a way I could have played more cleverly and gotten a stifle out of them. Though actually, if they had stifle, they would use it here instead of vision charm. I'll go for one of them. Another vision charm. Do I just counterspell it? Yeah, I will. They don't have days in their deck. This is what my counterspells are for. Okay. Here's misdirection. Yeah, the lands don't line up for it, but man, would it be awesome for for a Dreadnought opponent to board in Brain Freeze and then Brain Freeze into one of my Gaia's Blessings. That would be glorious, but it's not going to happen this time. Yeah, I'll go for the swords, because I can disenchant the keg if I find myself a meddling mage. Hmm. Yeah, I think I can alt cast it. Hmm. I'll hard cast this one. Nice. Then I will, I guess, play another Mox Diamond. If they have another Powder Keg, I've got so many lands that it really just doesn't matter. And then I can put back, what I guess, Counterspell, Counterspell, Counterspell seems pretty good. Lots of mana, versatile answer. All right, good stuff. So at this point, I'm just going to end the turn. What I don't want is to walk into a dominate when I can instead gain a greater advantage and then do it when it's safe. That's interesting. Well, I guess if I have two, that is the way to do it. But then they've got their powder keg. I don't know. Do I disenchant and then dryad and then dryad? Hmm. I'll just play AK right now. I really don't think they have any. There's Portent. I'll Portent myself. There we go. All right. I guess it doesn't really matter. Put them back like that. And then pass the turn. I'll be drawing 2 live cards. Followed by 1 dead one, but who cares? Flash. All right. Yeah, now I've got some good defense. I'll play one of the dryads, and I'll do what I can with it. Big flash for 10. That would mean that 16 cards down from where they're at. I guess, well, really, the bottom 9 would be in whatever order they want. Is that going to matter? I don't think it is. I'll just let them have it. I think I'm in a position to just 1-for-1 the cards they have that are actually relevant. Do I want to force this through with Pyroblast, or do I want to keep Pyroblast up? I'm going to let it come in, and then I'll try to disenchant it. There's my diamond. I'll attack for 4. And yeah, I guess I hope their last card doesn't dominate. Wonderful. That is what I needed. Just another hard counter. Yeah, they have just over a minute to pull off the kill. Looks like a real long shot. I mean, maybe I should have just not played the Dryad, but I don't know. Yeah, Portent is fine. How much stuff have they burned through? They have 2 Dreadnoughts left. They went through 2 Vision Charm and only 1 Stifle. All right. Oh, they do have AK. That's funny. Yeah, they can have the first AK. Well, their first, the second. Where have they been this whole time? Maybe they have like 1 accumulated knowledge so they can dig for it when I've played some already. That would be pretty clever. Anyway, one thing AK won't do is kill me in 30 seconds. There we go. That is what I'm talking about. Throw away 2 dead cards. They discard their entire remaining hand. I have a Gush. Then I have another accumulated knowledge. I'm blessing myself. I'll hit another blessing and a disenchant and a, I guess, pyroblast. Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't stick. I'll try it again. Blessing, disenchant, swords. Yeah, this is done from time, but I feel like I'm at a very solid advantage in this game anyway. Be really surprised if they came back somehow. All right, yep, there's the final play. And yeah, that's going to be it. Fun match. I always like playing against Dreadnought.